Oh, don't mind me. I'm just having a casual cup of coffee before I start my video. And I'm walking into my shot while still holding a cup of coffee because this is a little bit like a candid shot. You're supposed to see me in a casual situation like this and go, "Oh, look at that. He's just a normal person. He's having coffee. I have coffee. Therefore, he's like me and I'm normal. Therefore, he's normal." Au contraire, my friend. I'm anything but normal because if you look inside of my pocket, what do I happen to have? That's right, a deck of playing cards. Now, most of you might not see a problem with this, but I see everything wrong with this. You have a deck of cards in your pocket. What are you hoping somebody asks you what you do for a living so you could bust out your favorite deck of cohorts and go, "Hey, I'm a magician. You want to see something?" So hey there friends, today I'm going to share with you guys what I like to call an incomplete idea. I've done this on the channel from time to time where I share with you guys little tidbits, little ideas that aren't necessarily fully flushed. They might be lacking something, they might have too much of something and need something removed. But I don't know, this one in particular I haven't done yet. So hopefully you do it and let me know how it goes. And I know you might be saying to yourself, "Oh, PigCake, you're supposed to be the one that does the performance and we're supposed to be the ones that sit here kindly and wait for your tutorial so you show us how it's done after a valid performance." Not with this. Not with this. So I want you guys to do it and tell me how it goes. Let me know. Does it work? Does it not work? Did you fail? Show it to your significant other. If you don't have a significant other because you didn't happen to get into a relationship on a plea bargain, well then, I don't know, do it for some hobo. So this is based on the concept of the crosscut force, which is a classic force in the world of magic. You have the spectator cut the cards, and with a little bit of time misdirection, a little bit of a time delay, they look at the card they think they cut to, but really it's the card that was originally the top card of the deck. It's not the card they supposedly cut to. A little bit sneaky, a little bit devious. And I've also played around with a lot of different ways of removing the necessity for doing that classic X marks the spot bit. I've thought of different ways to do it from long distance. As a matter of fact, I've taught many different ways on the PigCake Magic Academy. For $5 a month, you get access to 2 videos every single week going over card stuff, coin stuff, specific tutorials, the individual moves. But you also get part of the piggybacker tier, which is just $1 a month, where I just post tutorials about anything. It's 2 tutorials. So if you're part of the PigCake Magic Academy, you get 4 tutorials every single week. And if you're part of the mentalism tier, you get an additional tutorial, bringing the grand total of 5 videos a week. What? How do I do it? I don't know. I don't know how I do it, but you know what? I still do it. You should check it out. I put some stuff on there. I put some hot crosscut stuff there, so you might want to check that out and nourish your life with the crosscut force. So the performance area today is going to be this box of Earl Grey black tea, because I want to prove to you guys that I'm progressive enough to drink black tea. We're also going to be using these cohort playing cards, and we're going to give the spectator the following bit of instruction. We're going to tell them that in a moment what they're going to do is that they're going to cut anywhere they want, and they're going to take that packet and quickly hold it up to their chest. So they're going to take that packet and quickly hold it up to their chest. So you give them the cards in their hands, and they cut off a pile of cards in your hands, and they take the remaining cards and quickly place them against their chest. So right now they're holding onto the cards, and just tell them to quickly take a little peek as to the card they cut to. And of course, they look at the Queen of Diamonds and they remember it, and they even shuffle it into their own half. And at this point, they can even shuffle it into this half. And it doesn't matter, because guess what? That, my friends, is a forced card. I think it's this way. I think it's this way. It's this way. So let's talk about that. Now, this is an incomplete idea and one of my very many attempts in order to get into a long distance crosscut force. I love the idea of the crosscut force. However, I've been playing around with the concept of doing it long distance and seeing how far we could actually get from the actual procedure and still have the participant think that that's the card they cut to. So you could do this by changing the grip. You could do this by, of course, time misdirection is the main modus operandi, which is giving a little bit of time between the actions and when you have them look at the card. Now in this case, the force card is going to be on the bottom of the deck. We're going to be using a more prominent card. Why don't we use the 2 of spades? That's a very prominent card, right? And we're going to do this as we tell the spectator that in a moment what they're going to do is they're going to cut the cards. Now here, I'm going to place the cards on the table, and I'm going to cut the cards and simulate what they are to do in a moment. So I'm going to grab these cards and tell them, oh, I want them to just quickly hold it against their chest. Now I'm going to take the deck, regroup the cards, pick up the deck, and hand it to them. So you're going to hand them the cards and tell them to cut off a chunk into your hand. So they're going to cut off a chunk into your hand, and you're going to tell them to quickly take the remaining half and place it against their chest. Now, if you haven't noticed, this is the original bottom half of the deck, which contains obviously the original bottom card of the deck, which is a 2 of spades. So this is what you're telling them to quickly place against their chest. Now, in that time, you've taken the opportunity to grab the cards in your hand and place them back on the table. So the perception here, because we've shown the spectator the instructions from the table, the perception and their memory is hopefully going to be that they've cut the cards from the table. So that's where you're trying to muddle the waters here. The reason you've given that the demonstration initially is because this is what you want them to remember. You want them to remember that they took a card and they quickly placed it against their chest. But because we had that little subtle moment where you give them the deck and we have them cut the cards onto your hand, they really don't remember which one is which. So the memory is going to be the one that you give them more attention to, which is the beginning bit of instruction where you have them cut the cards and quickly place it to their chest. So all you're doing at this point is that, remember, the spectators holding onto this pile against their chest, is you're taking the cards that they just cut into your hand and placing them back on the table. That's it. So at this point, the spectator has the 2 of spades against their chest, and you go, I want you to just take a quick peek, just a tiny little peek, make sure that no one around you saw the card, and look at the card you cut to. I'm trusting you here. I'm trusting you here. So just look at the card you cut to, and of course the spectator is going to be looking at the 2 of spades, which is the original bottom card of the deck. Now at this point, you could have them regroup the deck right back exactly as apparently how they cut it. So this is the memory that you want them to have, that they just cut the cards like this and that they place the card against their chest. So you could have them regroup the cards and give the deck a mix. Of course, it doesn't matter because, well, not only if they shuffle like they were given thalidomide as a child, it doesn't matter because you know the force card. You know the card they picked, and you know that it's the 2 of spades. Now you could go further and mark the card. So when you get the deck back, all you have to do is just simply spot it and then cut it directly to the top or shuffle it to the top, and you're going to be good to go. So it's a nice way of doing this crosscut force, and I think it breaks down the action a little bit better than just having the standard way of apparently marking the cut. And by the way, if you do the classic way, never say you're marking the cut. I don't know how many times I've said this. I might go on a little bit of a crusade across the states, a little bit of a tour, a press tour, and just share with people that they should never tell people to mark the cut. It's a terrible practice, and it works. It works. That's the worst part. It works. It's going to work, but it's just awful and nasty, and don't do it. Now, some other tips here. When you give the initial instruction here and you tell the spectator you want them to cut the card, here's where you want to be a little bit more rambunctious and I would say project, right? This is where your acting comes in. You want to project. You want to make sure that they remember this particular bit of instruction. When you hand them the cards and you tell them to cut a pile in your hand, you want to maybe lower your volume. Make it a little bit less important. Don't make it as prominent as when you gave the first bit of instruction. And that way, that's the instruction that they're probably going to dismiss, and the first one is going to be the one that they're going to go for. Again, this is an incomplete idea, so this is a little bit of homework for you guys to try this puppy out and see if it works. And more importantly, don't just use this as a means of, oh, and you got the 2 of spades. That's the card you're thinking of, right? That's the card you're thinking of, right? I'm sure that's the one that you're thinking of, the 2 of spades, right? You saw that card. Don't do that. Make this meaningful, all right? You're using this as a force. So make sure that you're using this in a context of a routine that it makes sense with, right? So if you're going to have the participant cut a card and look at it and shuffle it back in the deck, or you're going to have them think about it, or you're going to have them repeat the card over and over in their head, how are you going to present this? Don't just use it as a way of going 2 of spades, right? Then it becomes a puzzle. And then Chris Ramsey puts it up on his channel, and then you guys have to solve it because it's not a trick. It's not an effect. It's just something for them to try to figure out. So give it meaning, right? Put it around something. I apologize for the jump scare. I didn't realize that putting the DJI Osmo Pocket and just turning the camera up, you didn't expect it. You didn't expect it. So my sincere apologies to you guys. I mean, that's the video, honestly. Try it out. It's an incomplete idea. Check out the PigCake Magic Academy. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I've been doing some videos for illusionist.com, so you might want to check out their website. Let them know that they should keep Piggy around, right? Let them know they should keep Piggy around. But that's the video. Don't know really how to end this. Trying to think of things that have happened to me recently. I saw a drunk girl fall down at the bar the other day, which is kind of a funny thing because she stayed on the ground for a little bit extra time, just trying to milk the attention that she got, and it was kind of cringy, to be honest, because her group, the group that she came in with, didn't help her up. I didn't help her. I could have, but I didn't. I just turned around and I said, "What's going on? Like, what's happening?" And then obviously people ran up to her. "Oh my God, are you okay?" And she was just there for like a minute. Like a minute, just, "Oh, I can't get up." She could have got up. She was fairly young, a little bit rotund, but still young enough to be able to get up. And then they asked her, "Oh, do you want us to call rescue?" Call rescue for a little trip? And she had the audacity to say that, "Oh no, it was wet. The floor was wet." The flat, the flat. The floor was more dry than a female after seeing a card trick. There was no moisture on the floor. What are you trying to get a suit going? You're trying to get some moolah? Come on, be better.